And then second is Bonnie Jane Levinson. You guys can come up here to the corner. If you can give your name and address for the record, if you want, since we are dealing with the chamber, you want to give also your business name so that there's some reference for the council members.
Thank you. Honorable Mayor and City Council members, thank you for having me. My name is Ellie Van Dornum. I live at 2343 Toulouse Circle, Corona, and I am currently a regional club director for Blue Pen Incorporated. And I have been a member of the Corona Chamber for 8.5 years, since the end of 2006, in various business faculties. You've heard kind of the black and white from the chamber, from the president and CEO of our governing bodies of the Chamber of Commerce. And I'm speaking to you as a member of the chamber, a person who has benefited for these last 8 years as a chamber member. And what Bobby is showing you on paper there is the black and white of it. This is how much it costs to do business. But what you don't get from that is what we feel about the chamber. And as a small business owner, all of those services that Bobby showed you as far as cost is concerned, a lot of that, as a small business owner, I would not be able to do on my own. The chamber provides us with reasonably cost advertising and networking opportunities, business education. So often when a new law came out that would affect my business, I heard from the chamber first that this was going to affect my business. And additionally, the chamber would educate us on how it was going to affect us and what we needed to do to comply. The chamber also offers us business skills training. You heard Bobby talk about Chamber University, and my sales skills improved specifically by going to Chamber University. The Legislative Action Committee is something that the typical small business owner isn't going to take time out of their business to study the thousands of bills that are presented in Sacramento that directly are going to affect us. The Legislative Action Committee acts in our best interests to take care of those things. So again, it's a little adding peace of mind as a small business owner, these services the chamber provides. I think the most important thing as far as the city of Corona is concerned, without the Chamber of Commerce, our city culture would be completely different. Yeah, we're kind of a big city, maybe even a medium-sized city, but we have a small town feel. We have a sense of community. I mean, I've seen Jason at the grocery store. Hey, Jason, how's it going? Would we have that without the chamber? We wouldn't, because we would have never met each other in person. So it's huge, the culture, what the chamber contributes to our city of Corona. And that's not something you're going to see in black and white. Thank you.
Thank you. Bonnie, come on. Bonnie, followed by Saul Shapiro. And I think as Mr. Haley had commented, you are preaching to the choir. I don't think there's anyone up here that doesn't value the chamber, so.
Hello. My voice, forgive my voice. I'm Bonnie Levinson, and I live on 19385 Sterling Hill Lane in Paris, California. I'm kind of speaking on behalf of all the clients that I had signed up when I was working for the chamber, and from what I hear from many, many people throughout the city, because I get around, so I hear everything. And I hear all the time how important the chamber is and how much the chamber has done for people, and the events, and how when they have the meetings and they all show up, and just the interconnections, people that never knew each other have built businesses with each other, just from the different events that go on through the chamber. So I just wanted to make it quick, but on behalf of the people that I speak with, plus it's helped me a lot too as well. I've met a lot of new people and made some good money through, the chamber. So, but they're wonderful, and people are always talking about how much they do. I mean, how much they get from the chamber. So I just wanted to speak on behalf of other people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Saul, followed by Donald Dixon, or Dix, I'm sorry.
Good morning, Saul Shapiro, owner of Shapiro Enterprises and Lighten Up Corona, which originally started as a city program founded by Karen and endorsed by Eugene. And I was appointed your city's first volunteer fitness coach. Address 2888 Camellia Court. A couple things I want to address. I did send you a letter detailing very briefly some of the interactions that the chambers helped me make with the city and with the community at large that I enjoy in these circles. I wanted to mention there are quite a few video testimonies about the chamber's relationship with city businesses that are recorded by Matthew and his group, and can be seen on the chamber's website if interested. Mr. Scott, you had mentioned some of the free services you enjoy seeing the chamber provide or support on behalf of the community. I wanted to mention SCORE, which is provided free space inside the chamber and is for all businesses, whether they're a chamber member or not. I have sent countless folks who have sought my counsel on starting their business to seek their counsel as experts. Also, I used to be the chairman of the Chamber's Community Services Network, which is a free service provided to every nonprofit, service organization, church, mosque, temple in town to collaborate. Again, I think started by a council member over 20 years ago now, to coordinate calendars, make sure the city has full support of the nonprofit community, and in turn the nonprofit community can support city events and try not to overlap their calendars on the same day, and to network with each other. Speaking of the nonprofits, I saw in our audience several veterans, including Johnny, from co-founder of Veterans Honoring Veterans, and I know from personal experience witnessing the last 2 years the Chamber's luncheon honoring those veterans, the difference it made in those one particular veteran's life that was barely shyly able to introduce himself at the first luncheon, and this year was able to speak very eloquently, having been brought out of his shell by something that he learned because someone here at the chamber connected him to Johnny and that organization. Probably priceless to that individual for sure. Lastly, I've worked in town on and off since 1980, but I didn't buy my house here till 1989. And there's a big difference between working here and living here, as you all know. The reason I bought my house here in 1989, it was directly, exactly 2 weeks after the Chamber's State of the City, actually State of the Schools address, where Don Helms made a presentation, our superintendent at the time, about the school that he was finishing building in Sierra del Oro. And I bought that house, and as soon as it was complete, 2 months later, moved in. I think I've had a positive impact during that last almost 3 decades now living in town, and I owe that directly to that invitation to that luncheon. Thank you.
Thanks. Donald, followed by Joe Morgan.
Good morning, Mayor, Council, and members of the audience. I have been a resident of Corona for about 12 years and been to a lot of functions here in Corona, and it's been clear to me that the Chamber is prominently woven into the fabric of our city and community. If there's a community event that I attended, chances are the Chamber was involved, and in many cases, as was pointed out earlier, they were the organizer of that event. I also had an opportunity to travel back to Washington, D.C., coincidentally with some activities that our chamber was involved with back in D.C. And I was really impressed with the job that the participants in that junket, if you will, made, it was clearly a lobbying, nonpartisan effort to speak to the benefits that certain businesses and facilities of the government had in our community, and they were trying to make sure that those remained. I have a special personal recent example of how the Chamber actually helped make business happen in Corona. As a co-host of a locally produced radio show, we were looking for a location for a live remote broadcast in the Inland Empire after several failed attempts to make that happen at our preferred location at a business here in Corona. A call from the Chamber was all it took to get the answer that we were hoping for, and they literally created business activity for Corona as a result. The analogy I'd like to leave you with is that, you know, an engine requires lubrication in order to perform properly. Our city's chamber provides the lubricant for businesses in our community to function properly. Without that lubricant, we all know what happens to engines. They seize up and fail to operate properly. You know, if the chamber's been able to accomplish the things that were outlined today based on the investment that's been made, I suspect that increasing that investment will see a commensurate return to our city. It's really difficult to put there are subjective aspects to a decision like this as well. I was involved in co-founding an effort throughout the Inland Empire to organize groups that were functioning disparately, operating like little pockets of activity, and that effort and that coordination enabled these groups to operate more effectively. The Chamber works like that for small business. By hosting these events and creating possibly new opportunities for businesses to network together, as someone pointed out earlier, we get to know each other. We get to know each other on a personal level, and that is the lubricant that enables business to happen. And small business is vital to our community, and a chamber that has the ability to grow small businesses and invest in the networking that is required for those businesses to get new business and to grow their revenue is incredibly important. I really thank you for the opportunity to share my thoughts about what the Chamber does for our community, and I think any investment in the I think it's important to reevaluate periodically the money that the city spends. I think this is an investment that will be productive for years to come. The Chamber's been around the city for 100 years, and I think that they can do more with more. Thank you.
Thank you. Joe, followed by Tammy Harwick.
Good morning, Mayor and honorable members of the council. I come to you as a separate business owner. Basically, I am a real estate agent with Peterson Properties. I have lived in Corona for over 22 years. Part of the reason why I do stay here is because of the integration of the benefits of the city and the Corona Chamber. And I actually got to work firsthand in the chamber and see the inner workings and be able to be part of one of the biggest events that they had back in 911 and help host part of bringing in the monies and the funds to people. So I've seen firsthand what they do for this city and how they help others in the business. And what's great about it is it's not just the small businesses that are 1 members up to 10 members and beyond. They're constantly going out and visiting these businesses, trying to get people integrated into the city, trying to give them information, not just with their propaganda that they mail, that they email, but they go firsthand into the businesses, shake their hands, talk to them. I've been part of that as one of the ambassadors, and there's many others that have done that over the years, volunteering their time. And the chamber promotes that and helps these people to get out there and be integrated even more, which helps you as well. And I know that one of the issues that you had talked about was bringing in larger businesses, but the job of the Corona Chamber is not just to help you as the city, but to help those businesses thrive and stay here And if they are able to get more funds to be able to do what they are doing and help those of us that have been here over the years to thrive as business owners, it not only keeps who you have, but it alerts others out there that we are a thriving city and that others want to come. And those bigger businesses will get that attention and start coming like they have